right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. We are getting ready to work on this TSX. It is long overdue. I've been accumulating parts, trying to figure out a strategy, a plan to get this thing knocked out. So let's just get right into it. We're gonna start by taking off these emblems and putting on the other trunk deck, the other trunk piece we got here. This one is all messed up, as you can see here. Not quite sure what exactly happened, but this is what we're working with here. I'm not sure why these got busted out and this is all dented in, but we got a new piece, and we're gonna get ready to get everything in place so that we can get this job done. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So I'm just gonna use some glue gun and pull these emblems off the old trunk. We got some fishing wire here, and we're gonna use this to pull the emblem off the trunk. All right, we got both emblems removed. Now we need to focus on getting this trunk off and preparing for the other one. It's gonna have to get painted, the new one, but we'll get it swapped out so we can get rid of these old parts, make some space in this garage. So I picked up this handy dandy little tool from Harbor Freight. Looks like it's working pretty good. All right, so now we are gonna take out the tail lights. All that is just an 8mm. Loosen the 2 bolts. So here you have the 2 bolts for the, turn this light. Here are your 2 bolts. One here And the other one is right here. So there are your two bolts. So we get those out and continue on. Oh wait, there's actually, my bad, there's more to be undone. So you got these on the end here. This piece right here. Now we should be able to pop it out. So 3 pieces to get the tail light out. This guy here on the end. And then 1, 2. All right, last piece now. Take the screws off and release this deck lid. All right. All right, since this already has the cover on it, we're gonna have to undo this cover in order to put the wire back in place. All right, trunk is looking good. So what we're gonna do is take off these emblems as well. Got the good old fishing wire here. This is what we're using to clean up the emblems on the trunk. Spray a little Goo Gone, let it soak. Get your fishing wire and get to work. And there we have it. Emblems are off. All right, so onto the side mirrors. This is the replacement power mirror. We're gonna go ahead and fit this guy in. First thing we gotta do is pop off this side cover. That pop off's there. Has one little clip there. Take that off, then I believe these are at 8 mil. So you grab your 8 mil and go ahead and remove these 3 bolts. Okay, so I believe we're gonna have to remove the door panel in order to get to the clip. The plug underneath. All right, first thing we're going to have to do is flip up this little door cover piece. It will reveal a Phillips So we'll take out the Phillips. And then underneath this little flap right here. Okay, so when you release this little tab right here, you're able to pull this out and get to the 2 screws inside. Okay, so then there's one more piece. You got to pop this out, and that will reveal 2 more Phillips heads that need to be released in order to completely pop off the door. So here we have one there, 2 there, 1 there, and then you should be able to just pop off the door panel to get underneath. Okay, one additional note here. The window switch also needs to be popped out from right here. So you pop out that piece right there, and then you plug out the harness, and then you're good to go. So it looks like I will have to reassemble this guy here because it popped out of the plastic on its own. So I'll just reassemble that and finish with the mirrors. So this is what it would have looked like pulled out. All right. So now we have access to the harness, the plug for the mirror. This, I have no idea how we're gonna get this thing pulled out, because I don't have any way to access this thing. So we're just gonna go ahead and give it a yank. See if we can't get it out of there. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish off with the mirror. Okay, so once those 3 screws are out, you should be able to release the mirror and pull it out of place. Okay, so here's the old busted mirror. This is going to the trash. Now we can pop in the new guy. Put in the harness, boom. Put the screws back in, and we should be good to go with the power mirror. All right, let's check it out now, see if it works. Sounds like we have a winner. All right, so the new power mirror is on. Everything's looking good. We'll get the door panel reassembled, and we'll move on to the next side. Every now and then when you pull off door panels, these will get stuck in the door. So what you got to do, get your little tool here. I got this from Harbor Freight. You wedge it right up in there. Wedge it right up in there. And then you just give it a little tug and pop it out. Then that way you have this. You can slide it back into the proper spot right there. So there it is. So I got one more to do, and then we're ready to put this door back in place. Okay, so if you happen to forget, like I did, to disassemble, to unplug this switch, and everything kind of falls apart, this is how you put it back together. So this piece goes right in here, and the board will go on top. It will slide on this section here of the board. So you pop that board back into place. And then this cover pops right back in on top of that. So now you have your switch. So we'll make sure it works after we hook it back up before we close everything up. Okay, so we got the switch. You can see switch is working. Now let's get this thing back to full assembly. Okay, so this door is good to go. We'll clip back this window piece right here, and that should take care of this window. So now you can actually see where you're going with a proper working window. So it's looking good. We'll move on to the next side. So on second thought, since there's nothing really wrong with the other mirror, I think it came in a set of two, so we're just going to leave that one. But what we will do is we will check out the replacement steering wheel that was purchased. We'll put that on there. Really, this at the time was purchased because there was no options available for these busted buttons, so I ended up just having to get a whole new wheel here. So I'll just basically end up parting out the rest of these parts, but since this is already fully assembled and ready to go, I think we should just go ahead and swap it over. So for this, we're gonna go ahead and grab a 15. So there we go. A little bit of work there to that. Okay, so now that that's off, we'll go ahead, we'll pop on this new guy, line it right back up to the same spots. After you push this through, so we get that through, then we're going to line this back up to the same position as the other one. Then we should be able to slide that right down on there. So we want to make sure this guy here is lined up. Bring you in closer. Even though the steering wheel is tilted, we want to make sure that this right here is lined up to right there. So as you can see, it's dead on. Everything's lined up. And then we can go ahead and put the bolt back in. Okay. Then we do have a new airbag that'll go in, but we're done with this guy. Got the new guy on there. Looking good. So this will be down here when it's time to hook up onto the bag. We'll plug this guy back here and this guy as well. So that settles that. Okay, so moving on to the trying to get this front fender off. What we have to do is take off the side skirt. It's currently held in by 3 Phillips. So we're gonna get these 3 Phillips out. Then we should be able to just slide the side skirt off and get access to the bolt that holds the fender in at the bottom. Okay, so with those 3 bolts out, or 3 screws, I should say, we should be able to slide this side skirt off. All right, so you've got a clip there that you got to take off. You got a clip here, and then further in the back is a bolt right there that needs to be unbolted. Then we should be able to slide the side skirt off. Okay, now that we got all those clips and bolts off, the bolt under here, this one was a 10, so all we got to do now is slide it and it should come loose. Okay. So now we can access the bolt underneath and the bolt right in there, and we should be able to get this fender out. Let's go ahead and start working on that. So with the door fully open, we get to put this in here and release this bolt off of this fender. Bolt out. So next thing we got to do, get these clips up so that we can get underneath to expose the screws that's holding the fender in place. So let's go ahead, we're going to use this, get that on there. Alright, so we got the last screw out of the top here. So we're going to take this fender off and see how bad it looks under here. Everything under here seems to be intact. Do have a little rust on this side. So the piece that connects to the radiator support did suffer a little bit of a pinch here, right at the spot where we need to weld it. So we'll see if that is salvageable or not. Okay. So the interior piece also did buckle. So that's that side there. Then, in order to work on this radiator support, we're gonna have to pull off the other headlight and fender to get this thing ready to be worked on. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this fender over here. Release this clip. So here I accidentally recorded in time lapse, but you can see here I'm just pulling off the fender, getting the headlight off, and getting everything prepped up to see what's needed to pull off this radiator support. So we got the battery terminals cleaned up. As you can see here, we do have portions of the body that is rusted, so we'll have to work through that. The car is still in good running condition. It does move. Probably gonna have to get some new rims. It looks like we got a leak somewhere. These wheels are not in the best of shape anyways, but we'll be looking at some options there. But here, main thing here, we can see there is a pinch here on this portion that is supposed to be welded to the radiator support. We do have some crinkling under here from the impact that was received. Everything else seems to be in pretty good standing, but this is a major part right here. Looking at this piece right there. All right, so today we went ahead, we popped off the old busted mirror. We put on a new mirror. We went ahead and we got the trunk replacement on. Took off the emblems, put the new tail lights in from the other. Here is the radiator support that needs to be removed from this part of the frame to prep it to go into the car. There's our old trunk, old steering wheel. So yes, we did go ahead. We'll talk about the steering wheel too. We went ahead, got this installed. So everything's looking good. Close is great. This will need to be painted. Then emblems will go back on. And we also replace the steering wheel, where now we have all of our buttons here working nicely. So that's what we got going on here. So we didn't change this mirror out. We probably will change it at some point. It does sound a little old. The other replacement came from the same vehicle as the other one, and so that's what we're working with here. So stay tuned, more to come. Next up, we're gonna have to start separating out the old radiator support from the frame and kind of go from there. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Back at it again with this TSX project, trying to get this thing moving. This is gonna hopefully be a great rebuild once it's done. Not too expensive to acquire. As you've seen in the previous videos from quite a while back, I kind of shared the cost of the vehicle that was received from Copart, came out of New Jersey. But here, that's what we got. So stay tuned for more. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.